Hi, welcome. Today we are going to do a warm-up with doing squares. And I will show you, we have the paper. I think I will use this pen today, doing squares. And we do this to warm up the hands and the whole arm. And of course, we drink some water. Just like going to the gym. Really good. And so, okay, today, the squares. So, let's use the paper and try to fill it with different sizes of the squares, and we can start. And just like the first warm-up, here you can use a stroke. You know, you press and you let go, press and let go, press and let go. And you can make the squares different sizes, or you can, as we did with the squares, as we did with the circles, you can try to use your arm like fixed and just like not move here. Just do the squares, or you can do like same value you press. You can actually also do like the squares. It doesn't matter that they're like falling a bit. And then you can keep going with the squares. And if you want, you can try to like make a square behind the other squares just to play. So some are in front and some are further back. And this is just warm up, and we're filling the paper with the squares. And think about that. Pressing, let go. 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 And then you get this more live in the lines. I think sometimes when you have the same value the whole way around, it becomes a bit dead, I think. I like it when it's more variation in the stroke and it feels more alive. Maybe some are falling out here and some are in the middle. You can also, of course, go a bit advanced when you have this square and you make a square behind. And then you can connect them. And all of a sudden you have a box from your two squares. And if you want, you can use the lines you did in the previous warm-up and fill some of the boxes, squares, and keep going. Make small one, super small one. Make maybe a really large one going through. So the square warm-up. And when you feel that you fill the paper and you're ready for the challenge, we can do that. There, the square warm-up. Great. Welcome, and thank you for showing up. That's the hardest part, and you're here, and that's fantastic. Today, we are going to draw a dog. And I don't have a dog myself. We had one when I was little, a poodle, a black poodle. But my parents didn't keep it for so long, having 3 children, and a dog became a bit much. So if you know something by heart, it's really, and you've been looking at that object or person or animal, a lot of times you notice small things, and you can almost like imagine it in your mind. And if you haven't been studying an object or a person or an animal so much, it can be hard to remember how does it look like. And of course, all the animals has their personalities and look different. But for this exercise, I thought we would use a reference. So I found a picture here that I printed out. And today we're going to look at this picture, and I will add the link to this image in the description of the video. So you can look at the same if you want. Or if you pick your own pet and print that to have a reference to look at. And it makes it a bit simpler. And then the next time you can make changes to that image and play with a story that you're creating. But now let's look at this image and try to draw a sketch from this. So let's get started. We have our paper and this image of the dogs. They're so pretty. Have a look. St. Bernards. And what I know is that they like to have their friend with them, like having two St. Bernards, if you have a St. Bernards. And maybe we could draw that in, or I had also an idea that we draw this one and we add another type of dog from our mind. But let's start with this one. So usually I start with looking at, without thinking about what the object is, just to try to find what is like the outline, and then try to capture that on the paper. So let's try to do that. Today I choose, because I think it would be nice with this dog to have like a light brown color to create some warmth instead of just black ink. Okay, so I tried to find, and here just like with warm-up sessions, that I'm not afraid of doing stroke on top of stroke on top of stroke. I'm just searching. So this is more like searching. And for example, here I'm looking at the angle. What is most, if I put this like a straight line, I can see that the end part and the head is a bit above, and then it goes down here in the middle. So I tried to, okay, it should go higher up here, and then for the head as well. So I like try to find that. And then I look at this leg area. Since it's lifting this leg, I'm like, okay, where does that start? And the knee of the dog, and it's like lifting. And have the tail, and then I have the another leg, and that is on the ground. So I see that this one is a bit lifting from the ground, and this one, can you see, is a bit just lifting here, and this one is on the ground. So I look at that. And then also interesting is like it is a bit of space in between here. And how does that space look like? So not thinking about, oh, I'm drawing a dog. It's more like looking at the shapes. For example, here, just where the knee is, that's where the stomach area of the dog. And it's quite small until you see the next leg here. So, okay, it's not that wide. And then this leg, and how is the shape in between? And this one is also just touching the ground. And almost like if I see a continuous line, it's almost like this shape here. So I try to, like almost like if I try to draw the whole line there then. The first front leg, here. Still searching with a pen. Just to see what's happening. And this might be not nice at all, or you never know, but keep searching. And here you're coming to the shape of the nose and their ear, and open mouth with the tongue. Now I'm actually moving the leg a bit because I thought it was a bit too far. And at this point, if you wouldn't see this image, it's like, is she drawing a pig or cow? Or, it's really, don't care about that. Don't care about what your head is telling you. Just enjoying the pen on the paper and finding shapes. That was we're after today. Finding shapes. And look at this beautiful shape here on the back. And then finding where like the eye is. And now I'm pressing a bit harder just to find something. Maybe this is not like the easiest dog to draw. Yeah. Especially when I don't have a dog myself. But they're so beautiful. So beautiful. And here I see that it's like darker. You see here it's darker. So I press a bit harder on the pen just to see what happens. And I take the stomach down a bit because it was up here, and I think no, it's probably more around here. And then I see it's like darker here underneath, going down on the leg here. So I'm by pressing, not defining really any lines, just filling in. And you see here I'm using like with a fixed, not like this. It's fixed here, and I do like a stroke more, not to be so precise. And I press a bit harder. You see the tail. And then I want to press and fill in these beautiful patterns on this dog. And here as well. When you draw something a lot the same thing, then you can actually draw from your memory, which is really nice. And then you come into this that is like really a meditative session, not looking at a screen or anything. It's just you and the pen and the paper. Maybe you put on your favorite music or something like that. And you're actually having a really, really nice time just for you. So it is very nice to practice to be better at it. But as a start, it could be nice to have something to follow along, just to also find a bit of inspiration, what you could do. So here I'm pressing a bit because I know, even if it's hard to see on the image, that the ear lies on top of the head. So I want to like show that it's over, and here under, and here as well is quite a lot of shadow, and also with this knee coming up, and here as well you have the tail and creating a bit of shadow behind this leg here, and this one is also darker, and here, and then these feet are touching the ground, so I'm trying to make it a bit darker there. So how are we doing? So it's almost like you're building it up with the pen stroke. It's not one defined line, it's more you're searching. And here as well, he has this, he or she, I don't know, maybe you know better than me, have this necklace. And here the hair is over the necklace. So I'm just showing a part of it. Now I would like to define a bit more, and I'm pressing a bit harder with the pen. And here we have this darker area as well, with a beautiful pattern. So pressing a bit more here. It's really beautiful dog. So what I think is, I would like to have seen this dog's eye a bit more. And it has some, maybe I should do that. Let's do that. Let's find, I think I take this darker brown, since the ears are darker there. So we get some contrast of this, and it has some beautiful patterns and around the eye as well. So amazing in the mouth. It's almost like all black there with the eyes. So it's, and the nose, of course, the nose as well. What I think is, when you draw something, either you have it, you have the object as you want it on the paper, but sometimes it can actually be quite nice to draw a surrounding. And for example, here I see that just where the necklace is, somewhere there is the ground ending and it's forest. So I would like to try to create that, just like a line, like a darker green. Don't have that. Okay. Keep going with this one. Might didn't take, because it's really dark. You see, it's like really dark. So I go actually with this color around it. You don't have to, but it can be nice to see that something is happening, even that this image is the dog, But now I'm actually working on what's behind the dog to make it be. And maybe I do like, you can see like the trees shape. Don't need to define that more. Or maybe it's the house or what you decide it to be. Take this off. I will use a bit more of this darker brown. Just filling in this beautiful shapes a bit more. Going a bit darker. So it's almost like layering, layering, layering. To get some life. And then you can also like take the picture and only start to look at the image and see what does this image. Drink some water. What does this image need to pop out maybe a bit more? Should we do this time? And then I need to look a bit more. How does that? I think actually we stop here. You can keep going. And I think it's nice. This dog walking. I will test to do something and maybe now it comes to this. Am I going to destroy the picture or not? But I would like to add a small, since this is such a large dog, I take the pencil. This is 6B. And I would like to draw a small friend of this dog. I don't know if it will be possible. I was just keen on trying to draw a small text. Next to it. A small text friend. Just for fun. They're friends. Yes, that's it. Thank you. And good luck and enjoy.